Pleasure. Good morning, Chris.
A senior Democratic strategist told Politico the IRS scandal, quote, plays into what people think about Democrats, that we like big government. It makes it harder to play in Republican districts. Are you concerned that they're right, that this could hurt Democratic members of Congress politically?
No, look, this scandal has nothing to do with Democratic members of Congress. There's not even any evidence it has anything to do with the president. Frankly, Democrats in Congress want to get to the bottom of this just as much as Republicans. I can agree completely with President Obama that it's outrageous, and I think most House Democrats feel the same way.
And I think that the other question, who directed this effort? Where did it start? Let me play for you what two Republican senators said.
So I have a very hard time believing that this was something cooked up in Cincinnati from mid-level employees at the IRS.
I just find it very hard to believe that lower-level employees here in Cincinnati, Ohio, took this on themselves.
So how do you begin to answer that question? And do you want to get to the bottom of that? Where did this all start?
Absolutely. House Democrats, myself included, are committed to getting to the bottom of it and figuring out how it appears like organizations were looked at or evaluated differently because of their name. This is something that strikes at the core of kind of the trust of the IRS as a fair agency to oversee our tax system. So, again, House Democrats agree completely with President Obama that it's outrageous. There's no excuse for it. And let's get to the bottom of it. And frankly, I'm happy that the one head's already rolled, the interim director of the IRS.
I also want to talk about a bill that you and Justin Amash have introduced that would stop federal agencies from seizing phone records without a court order. Would that have prevented what happened with the Associated Press?
Yeah, most likely. Details are still emerging, and frankly, this story would have been probably the main story of the week had it not been for the others. But looks like over 100 reporters have had their records in terms of who they talked to turned over for an investigation over a leak without the right controls. Our bill would simply say that the government has to go to a court rather than just have an administrative subpoena if they want to go after reporter records. And it needs to be targeted. They can't simply cast a broad net and a fishing expedition as it appears like they did in this case.
Are you feeling like this is something that can get through? I know there is some bipartisan support. There does seem to be a perception often that there are these issues that come up, whether you want to call them scandals or not, and there are hearings that are held and then not very much gets done.
Well, sometimes, it's sometimes tough in this town, as you've probably heard, so we have to look for the silver lining on all of these so-called scandals. So, look, if the upshot of this AP phone scandal is that it allows us to get more Republican support for advancing civil liberties, let's take advantage of the moment, move forward, and try to get a bill to President Obama's desk to make sure that the press corps can maintain its integrity.
Congressman Jared Polis, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.